de escuchar por primera vez
10 segundos para que mandes la cuenta regresiva.
Me adelanté 10 segundos.
Ay,
este guapango La Silla.
Me disculpo, pero no me arrepiento.
La música que va a ser seguramente tradicional todos los años. Este CSI de 5 estrellas.
B4 quiero configurar yo. Nos está mandando un regalo.
Y ya tenemos en la pista a todos los jinetes que van a participar
Este es 2, ¿no?
del Grand Prix.
Es el video... B4 es el video 2.
Grand Prix Ranking AA.
Ah, ¿quieres poner primero? Entonces es B4, sí.
1,60 m de altura.
¿Dónde pusieron los micros?
El Grand Prix Ranking A. Over 1.60 meters. Competition in the one jump off. In the case of a tie, we will have a jump off over fences 16, 8, 12, 13B, 13C, 17, 4, 8, and 5. 16, 8, 12, 13B, 13C, 17, 4, 8, and 5. Un desempate este Gran Premio Ranking.
Ah, es la señal de allá arriba. O sea, nos están mandando aquí, pero mejor agarramos directo de allá arriba. Ajá, hay que mutearlo.
Entonces nada más están abiertos los dos. Sí, que está sonando ahorita. Alex, jump on disco as well if you want to. Yeah, I couldn't find my headphones. Yeah, just like in the back. I'm trying to find mine as well.
De 3, entonces el de 3 es el video 3, ¿verdad? 03. De 3.
The countdown's on, and we're going to go to commercials in 2 minutes.
Me da miedo. De hecho, debería tener unos triggers. Entonces, que quiten todas las capas porque si no, se va a quedar encima del cronómetro. Listo.
Hay una pila que ya está en verde, ¿eh?
Entonces, luego sigue otro video que es el último, ¿ya no?
Sí, es el G2.
Ay, Dios mío. Voy a poner hasta acá. Es literal el último, ¿verdad?
Sí, pero...
Voy a poner aquí.
¿Eh?
G2.
Este es el main. Ya. Oye, ¿y sabes qué? Leo,
Dime. Anuncios.
ya tienes un micrófono.
¿Ya?
¿Quieres ir poniéndolo?
Sí.
Sí. El único problema es que...
when every second counts. The surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Pro-Tex footing product and Auto Sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Pro-Tex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
There are all kinds of legends here. Each one of them with their own story. But there is one thing they all have in common. They all drive us to find out greatness. Greatness is not something you were born with, nor is it reserved for a few. Greatness is, in any case, a choice. It begins with a dream and transcends languages, generations, and borders. It comes from a team united in body, mind, and spirit. Because by joining forces, the extraordinary can be achieved. True greatness forges a legacy that inspires others to dream more and become more, creating a better world for those who will come next. Legends inspire greatness in others. Let's be legends.
Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to La Silla, Monterrey here in Mexico for first of 2 weeks of competition here under the shadows of the beautiful mountains of what is one of the most stunning showgrounds anywhere in the world. It staged many of the world's legends here and they're celebrating those legends here this week as well. More legends and chapters to be made in the history of this fabulous venue from the 1990s when it was the Pulsar Crown to now it is Major League Jumping in 2 weeks of five-star competition on the beautiful lawns here of La Silla. Not just this arena, but several others that are just as stunning to compete on throughout the week. But stunning competition is hopefully what we're going to bring you here as well. We've got just over 40 in the first round of this big class in terms of the Grand Prix for the individuals here this week. The GNP Seguros Grand Prix. Over $400,000 in the prize fund. It is up to the top into those five-star Grand Prix. And Anthony D'Ambrosio, our course designer here this week, will take you around that course in a few moments' time. But you can see from that shot just a little hint of the grounds here. It is going to be a big week, big 2 weeks, in fact, that we're going to bring you. Next week, we bring you a Grand Prix and a team competition on the Saturday and the Sunday. And a reminder, tomorrow, you haven't missed it, it is Grand Prix today and team competition for Major League tomorrow. So that will be into Sunday. So a slight change from the usual order. But next week, it's back to a different order. We're actually going to an evening class for the teams, and I think we'll be in the afternoon for the Grand Prix. That's how you join us over the next couple of weeks here from Monterrey. And in the meantime, we're also going to take a look at who's competing in today's 5-star Grand Prix, sponsored by GNP Seguros, fabulous sponsors here in Mexico. A strong list from the home nation, of course, from Mexico, but also those that are jetting in to compete for the big prize money as well that we're going to see. As I say, 41 in all. Rodrigo Lamre of Brazil will start us off with Chiquitos PS. We've got Juan Ortiz, Venezuela, riding, you see their team next to it as well. So Show Plus Northern Lights, as is Sean Jobin of Canada, and Darius in the early few. Past winners like Patricio Pascal go 6th of this order with Babel, Fabio Sajan of Argentina, Caitlin Campbell of the USA with Amir, and Andres Azcaraga, the famous family here in Mexico, have produced some major horses with Contendros 2 are in our first 10. From there, it is on to the US with Erin Davis, Heineken, and Leone. Jacob Pope heads here for the first time. We saw him go well, of course, in the last couple of runnings. For the younger US rider, Paula Amalibia and Gadi. Carl Cook comes in on a hot streak, of course, having finished second in that Grand Prix in Atomi a week or so ago. Dara Kenny, Great Tequila J, has been a Grand Prix winning combination before now. World Championship rider Erin Ballard of Canada and Gakia. Bliss Heers, winner of that Atomi Grand Prix on this first stage in Mexico, returns with Antidote de Mars. And they're into our 20th of the order for Juan Jose Santos Delgado as completing the first half of the competition here. John Perez of Colombia with Gigi Carmen, a fast combination. Jordan Coyle, multiple winner, of course, on the Major League Jumping Tour, including Grand Prix. Natalie Dean, Kota M. Ashley Bond could be a tough one to get past here with Donatello. Connor Swale, the world number 5, the Irishman with Nadal Hero. And then 2 former winners, too, that will feature in the field. And we've got Nick Pizarro of Mexico, Olympic rider. Carlos San Guerrero, H5 Turbo Z, who's another very strong one for the home nation to take us through that group. And then on to that final run of riders, which is going to see this group coming up with the likes of Alberto Michan down towards the end, Eugenio Garza, Contago for Mexico, Germany's Rupert Winkelmann and Duvaret, USA's Lily Keenan, Queensland E, and it's going to make for a big finish. Argentina down towards the end with Luis Pedro Biraben and Chaco Bumpy, and then just a few more to throw into the mix to complete this first round lineup of the competition. And of course they'll go in the same order for that second round if they go clear, which is the likely score needed here. Amanda Derbyshire, Paul O'Shea, of course, last year's winner with Chancelloress, and finally Vanessa Mannix, top 3 in that Grand Prix just a few days ago, in fact, in Atomi for that Kingston. She was top 3 there. So that's the lineup coming up for the first rounds of the Grand Prix here. And the course itself, you get a little bit of a look down there. Triple combination at 13. There's 14 fences on the course in all. They'll come down. That's yellow and white combination. 1 stride between each of those. And then 7 strides up to the last 2 fence 14. Really interesting line from the GNP Seguros Oxter, which is just over towards the jury box. We can see is that green rotunda building in the distance. They roll back to the wall, which stands at 1.60 meters. And from there, well, they've got a few options of how many they come down to the water on. Could be on the 8. We'll see what they do. Water then in the centre at 7. You can just see the blue there. And then onto that is after that is a set of planks at 1.60 meters at fence 8. Looping back to 9 and 10 on a curving distance at 5 strides between 9 and 10. 11 then, a little skinny with the bears on, is the next on course. Why is that symbolic? Because actually we do get the odd bear wandering around the showground late at night, so do look out for those. They won't worry you if you don't worry them. And then into that final line to 13 ABC and 14. Nothing grisly about that. It is going to be a lovely afternoon of sport, and Hannah Robson's going to be alongside me, and a little later Enrique Gonzalez as well, former winner of the Grand Prix, to join us too. So just moments away from the start of competition. competition here, and I think the first about to make their way up. So we'll be getting underway with today's GNP Seguros Grand Prix here in Monterrey. And we can see the first making their way up. That's Rodrigo Lambre and Chiquitos PS, the 9-year-old by Chaco Blue for the rider for Brazil. Rodrigo, like two riders here competing for the Brazilians, a team gold medalist at the Pan Am Games in 2019. Actually finished well in the 2-star Grand Prix in Atoli just a week or so ago, and won the Grand Prix in Puebla back into May of this year. Again, a prolific winner and a good starter to get us into competition here. And so we're going to see around 40 in the first round of this wonderful venue here in La Silla. So more legends to be made. Hannah, Rodrigo, a good lineup, as I say, with already championship golds behind him, and has kept producing the wins, including with this combination who've been settling in well.
Yes, such a very experienced competitor, and we've got such an exciting lineup to come, not only in these first few, but throughout the whole list of the 40 riders that we've got coming up. Chiquitos PS, this 9-year-old, is one that is going better and better with Rodrigo, and in fact they had a fantastic time at San Miguel de Allende, our previous Major League show jumping leg. They were 10th in the 5-star Grand Prix there. But they've also done very well in the 4-star Grand Prix at Coapex Pan, another of those prestigious venues in Mexico. That was last month. Also won a 2-star class at San Miguel in May. And they jumped extremely well for another 2-star win at Puebla. That's another one of the top Mexican venues as well. So very much on form and had some really good results already this year.
Now this is the line that's going to be really interesting. Coming up as the 6 strides from 3 down to 4 A and B, and then 5 then back to the Major League wall. This is where they come down to the water. He has that one down, picks up down here. And it's going to come up very quickly indeed after that. And looks like they get the 5 down that line, and that comes up with another fence down, unfortunately, at 9. A little bit on the just curve there, which he's set it on the 5 strides and going into the corner. I think he's decided they're just getting a little bit out of their rhythm there, so deciding to, yes, put the hand up and retire. So Rodrigo Lambre retiring with Chiquitos PS as the first of those for Brazil. A little less experienced into the big 5-star Grand Prix for that horse, but hugely experienced rider indeed. Anthony D'Ambrosio, our course designer here this week from the USA, and he's setting the tracks this week, and then we change over next. But in the meantime, he's building for what is an exciting field for this run-up. It is Venezuela now, Juan Ortiz and Kinky Boy, the 12-year-old gelding, the chestnut Belgian-bred horse by Nabab the Rev. And again, this year has been their step-up year into more Grand Prix for this horse that's owned by the Blue Trim LLC.
Yes, absolutely. They've stepped up to the level really well. And this is perhaps Juan's most established horse. It's one that he's been riding since February of this year, so they've had not far off a year to get to grips with each other. It's another of these very large horses, very big striding horses that he tends to ride. This being almost 18 hands high. Had some very good results though so far in Tryon, and also competed in the 5-star Major League Grand Prix at Traverse City, both of those competitions. This is perhaps an arena that suits this horse a little bit more naturally. And he's just
just getting a little bit strong early on. We saw them through the double, it just got a bit tight for them, and a big launch of the first, which I think already had put them off their kilter. Here at the double, just plain runs out of space as they get through there, and deciding partway around the course to say, I'm not sure this is working quite out today. So with 2 starting off with a retirement, which is a tough one, but we've got some very experienced combinations coming up, and sometimes it's your day and sometimes it's not quite. So we'll see more of them at a later date, and say a reminder, quite a few of these riders are going to be featuring in the team class here tomorrow as well. So 2 gone, 1 yet to complete, but to show us around hopefully will be Canada's Sean Jobin now. And Sean with the 14-year-old Darius. Darius for the Foxridge Farms, the 14-year-old by Warrant. Same sire as Garrett that we saw win earlier on this year with Cali Shot. We're of a number of the Canadians competing, about 5 Canadians I think we've got competing here this week.
Yeah, a good few Canadian competitors, and we're going from one member of the Show Plus Northern Lights team to another. Sean been a great member for that team. He's got a couple of very good horses he's been riding on the Major League circuit so far, and Darius is one that he has actually had since 2018, so real long-term partnership. They know each other very well indeed. Just clips the front part, the first part of the double combination there. Competed in Ottawa in the winning round competition, and we're just having a circle now. I think a few of these horses are just getting a bit, whoops, I'd say a little bit strong, then therefore a bit strung out. It's not quite what's happening with Darius, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, that's, as I say, not the easiest to start for a few. 3 gone, bell goes there, I'm afraid, for Sean Jobin and for Darius. So early end there, round 2, I'm afraid. That's an E against their name. So it's tough stuff at the moment. Always a big Grand Prix makes for an interesting afternoon. And we may be just a moment before our next comes along, as we've been a little bit shorter with those early rounds. So more to come, as I say. We've got those coming up over the next few, like former winner Patricio Pascal, winner of this Grand Prix back, it was 2020. And then down to the likes of Jacob Pope, who stepped up so nicely so far. Carl Cook with his Hampton Classic winner. Dara Kenny with Great Tequila J, another winning combination for Grand Prix. Richie Maloney, Erin Ballard, Bliss Hears, of course, returns after that win in Atomi just a week or so ago. Hopefully on hot form still. One that could be yet is Miguel Angel Torres of Mexico, and Shakendra, the 13-year-old by Chaco Blue, for the first of the home nation for Mexico.
Yeah, great number of Mexican competitors in the lineup that we have here today, and some extremely talented riders who are very much on form. Chakendra is one that he competed in the 4-star Grand Prix at Quapexpan as well. And he also did the 5-star Grand Prix at that very same venue at the Nations Cup show. That was back in March, and had a really good 5th place finish there with just a fast 4 faulting round, getting them the 5th. So they've got the record that they have performed well in the 5-star Grand Prix before, and we're still looking for a completion. There are quite a few lines around this course that you would have expected to cause problems. Certainly this line from the wall to the water to the plank. You know, as you were saying earlier, the plank comes up really pretty quickly.
Ooh, look at the water, is hesitant. It's a big jump over it. They're back on dry land. Now they've got to be right for the next, and they've got there. I have to say the crowd is appreciating this, definitely knowing and seeing from the first few how tough this is. Should come up on the 5 strides just on that little left-hand curve to the vertical, and say this is the little skinny bear fence. The bear's not skinny, the fence is skinny, and it falls lightly just like that to moans and groans from the crowd. Great to have all that participation in there. So coming in on the 4 faults at the moment, so this is what your final line will look like. 1 stride between each of those. Holding for the last for the CP fence, and he's away off it. And unfortunately is decanted at the last. He was going well. I think some of the crowd thought that was going to be A-OK, but unfortunately not to be for them this time. And from the point of view, Miguel up at the moment. everything's up and okay, and team just making sure all are okay. Horse just being checked out.
Yeah, great to have the crowd support, as you say. It's a brilliant turnout here. Of course, fantastic sunshine around the arena, and lovely to see so many spectators set to enjoy this afternoon's action.
I say, will just be a moment or two as we let them just get the horse all checked out. We can see the next is up in the ring at the moment. Will be a few moments before we go to that next one. And down the line, as I say, we're going to see the likes of Carl Cook, Dara Kenny, Richard Maloney, Erin Ballard, Bliss Hears, all yet to come on the order for this Grand Prix. That's getting close to our first to complete. Jacqueline Steffens is just out there on course at the moment. Should be underway in just a few moments' time. And so far this week we've seen some very good jumping as well. Kyle King getting a really nice win behind him earlier this week in the jump-off class, and of course Dara Kenny gone well. We saw Connor Swale yesterday in the money as well.
Yeah, Connor Swale's had a couple of really good runs with a couple of different horses already, and Kyle King had that brilliant performance to win one of our earlier 5-star classes. But yes, the likes of Dara Kenny going well as well with some of the newer horses that he has here, and has some more established ones as well. Of course, Great Tequila J, the horse he'll be riding in this Grand Prix, and that very much is one of his more established rides. He's had quite a few top rides over the years, and that one has really come forward as a top ride for him over the last couple of seasons. Connor Swale with Gamble had that brilliant performance, going extremely fast in the speed class, and that really paid off. They absolutely went hell for leather and went much faster than their nearest rivals. But we have quite a few competitors coming forward here who are really on form as well, whether that's the Mexican competitors or, you know, our next rider in will be Jacqueline Steffens, who you just see on your screen now. She's pretty on form as well. She's gone very well in the 5-star Grand Prix at the Major League shows already this season. Freaky, a really great partner for her, and one that she knows extremely well again. But I'm sure we'll see the crowd getting behind some of our local competitors as well, competing on home turf. But it's great for them to have those the Mexican riders here competing against these international stars as well.
I'd say just a moment or two, the vet's just checking over the previous horse, and of course we don't rush that one. We let them do what they need to do to make sure all right before they leave the ring, and so we'll be back underway just as soon as we can. So from the point of view, we've got 4 that have gone so far of the 40 or so. Jacqueline might head out for a minute just to go and have another fence before they're ready to go again. And so then we'll be back underway with the Grand Prix this afternoon.
Yeah, and a slightly different format this week for us. Usually we have the team competition today and then the Grand Prix tomorrow or on the Sunday, and we'll be going back to that format next week because we have back-to-back weeks of competition here in Monterey making the most of this absolutely stunning venue and the winter sunshine.
Well, it gives me a chance to just give you an update on the teams. Let's just remind you where that sits at the moment, because Team Helios,
Yes.
4 wins now?
Yes, 4 wins, another win. The 4th was, of course, at our last leg at San Miguel de Allende. That was another brilliant performance. Eugenio Garza getting the winning round for them in the gold medal jump off, and absolutely very well deserved win for them, and they are really the team to beat. They're on 47 points, and that has them right out in front of all of the other teams.
And of course the other teams being the likes of Eye Candy and Spy Coast, who are on equal points at the moment.
Yes, exactly, 35 points apiece for those two, and they have really both been very consistent so far this year. They both had one tricky time so far this year, but really have gone extremely well. You know, Spy Coast Spies have had 4 second places, I believe, now, so they've really been knocking on the door all season so far, and they really would deserve a win. They've got some great riders on their squad. Only made 1 change in the mid-season transfer window, Tanner Korotkin coming out and Jacob Pope coming onto the team. But some brilliant riders there. They've got the likes of Jordan Coyle, Lacey Gilbertson. Those two have been really key parts of the team. Shane Sweetnam riding for them previously this season as well. Eye Candy, of course, are the team that were last year's season champions. And again, they've been really brilliant. They've had 1 win so far. That was at Traverse City in September, our 2nd visit there, and they've had various 3rd and 4th place finishes. But again, they're a very competitive team, and another one that will be very keen to have a good result here, because of course we're now at the 7th leg of the series. We've passed the halfway point. We've got 3 more after this week, or 4 more including tomorrow, and that will absolutely, you know, it will make such a difference. We've got 2 teams on equal points. We've got a couple further down on equal points as well. So it's really very tight all the way down the leaderboard in that team competition.
Yeah, it's going to make for an exciting week this week and next for the team competition for Major League. And as I say, a very good lineup coming up a little later on. We're just letting the vets just check the horse over at the moment. They're going to take their time over that. We know that's absolutely the right thing to do, and we are going to take a break for just a few moments' time. Then we'll be back with the rest of round 1 of this GNP Seguros Grand Prix here from La Silla. So we're just going to take a little breather, and then we'll be back with Jacqueline Steffens.
Premier Equestrian, the #1 choice for footing products. Premier Equestrian, footing products that improve performance. Premier Equestrian, footing products for cushion and stability. Call 800-611-6109 or visit premierequestrian.com. Premier Equestrian, the #1 choice for footing products. Premier Equestrian, footing products that improve performance. Premier Equestrian, footing products for cushion and stability. Call 800-611-6109 or visit premierequestrian.com.
Well, welcome back. Getting back underway in just a moment or two, and Jacqueline Steffens just going through her warm-up, just taking all measures and making sure Shakendra all comfortable and okay as they take the horse out of the arena, and say just as caution to make sure all the vets there just doing all they can, and they again will continue their assessment outside. So we will resume with the rest of the competition in just a couple of minutes, and it is a tough one so far for those. Big competition here this week, over 400,000 in the prize fund, as it will be next week as well here in Monterey. And reminder of what's coming up over the next few weeks. Did we take a break for a couple of weeks? Deep breath, and then up for the finals, because we will head to California to the final stages at the Desert Horse Park. Two of those coming up for you on the grass on week 1, and then onto the arenas under the lights on the final week as well, to determine who is going to be the champion of all the various aspects of the Major League Show Jumping, with those individual champions, and which is led, I think, by Kent Farrington at the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
And team championship, Team Helios. Going to be hard to get past.
Very hard to get past. 12 points separating them from the two teams who were in second place, so they've left quite a decent gap now. They did have a bigger gap actually earlier in the season, but they are very much the ones to beat, and Kent Farrington looking very, very strong. He won the 5-star Grand Prix in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Connor Swell coming second to him there, and then actually Jacqueline Steffens was third.
Big few weeks of competition there with points, big points to be won over those weeks as well. So although we say Helios have done a great job, and they have, with 4 wins behind them. I mean, with 4 wins behind you, hope that was enough to get you there, but you've got to get it done. You've got what, we're at week 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 more stages
4 more.
yet. 4 more stages yet, with plenty of points in there from that point of view. And we will be keeping a close eye on that. So it'll be tomorrow afternoon that we'll see the team competition here, and a little change around to our usual scheduling for competitions here. So our next one is making their way up, and so we'll be back underway with the Grand Prix here in Monterey. And well, as I say, we've got some very experienced pairings heading into this for this afternoon's big one. So Jacqueline Steffens just making her way up. There she is, and back and ready to go with the 12-year-old Freaky for Team Eye Candy herself. 12-year-old by the great Darko, that of course was ridden through the Philip Arts family to wonderful success. Probably rode here back in the 90s when they were jumping for the Major Pulsar crown here, when the world's best were all converging on Monterey at that point. Jacqueline Steffens, though, with the next generation with Freaky, set to take us around the course. Of course, it's been a wonderful stage for her to show her talents as part of Major League Jumping for the Canadian. How's she fared this year so far?
Oh, she's done brilliantly with this horse so far. I think they've a really brilliant partnership. It's one that I think is really to be admired, actually. They've come on together up through the levels, which is lovely to see. And as I say, they were third in the 5-star Grand Prix in Ottawa. There were only 4 riders into the jump-off. And as I say, Jacqueline was second to Kent Farrington and Connor Swale, so what a pair to be, well, she was second to those two, so she was third. She then was 5th in the 5-star Grand Prix at San Miguel, just in our most recent leg, so comes here pretty on form. But this pair have also won 5-star jump-off classes in Spruce Meadows back in the summer this year. That was in July. She also jumped in the Nations Cup competition at Spruce Meadows as well. Ah, what a shame.
That looks wet. Yes, hand goes up.
Bit of a splash.
Bit of a splash. Judge's hand goes up with the flag there, so going to get 4 for that. Just keeps him on the nice 5 curve to the La Silla vertical. Let's talk time allowed, 77 seconds. Not sure we've mentioned too much of that so far. To just come home on the 4 if they can. 77 looks achievable down here as well. First part of that triple combination dropping to take them to a score of 8. That was the first pole that dropped. Of course, the other was a foot in the water. So finishing on the 1 time fault to add there as well. 77.38. Going to be on a score of 9 for Jacqueline Steffens. And Freaky is the first of those to complete the track here this afternoon as part of the Grand Prix here in Monterey. So one under the belt with a completed score so far. So that in for Canada.
And I think in the scheme of this course, because there are so many tricky challenges all the way around, actually a score of 9 is looking pretty good at the moment. Very interesting to see how many clears we end up with, because there are just so many tricky parts all the way around, as I say. But Jacqueline Steffens, that very on-form combination, getting us off to the best start so far.
Yep, so 1 under the belt as we go to a former winner here, Patricio Pascal, and with the ride today of the 15-year-old Babel. It's a Mexican-bred horse, in fact, by Billy Dooley, and should hopefully take us around here as a hugely experienced rider from World Championships to, I think, even Olympic Games for Patricio. For him, first of those then hopefully to take the Mexicans into a score here, and Babel with lots of experience behind them. So setting up. Time allowed, as we saw, 77. I think that's achievable looking at that round, but just picked up the 1 time there with Jacqueline Steffens.
Yeah, Patricio is a top championship rider, and this has also been a championship horse as well. Babel is the horse that he took to the World Championships in Herning back in August of this year. But they've jumped in a lot of 5-star Grand Prix, 5-star Nations Cup competitions as well. Most recent of those for them was at Spruce Meadows. That was in September. They were 6th in the Major League 5-star Grand Prix at Vancouver as well, of course that being our first leg of the season back in May. And at that very same show they also won a 5-star speed class, so that tells you that this horse has absolutely got the potential to go very quickly as well. Not going to necessarily be what they need for, you know, they won't be through to the jump off as it, well, providing we have the clears, of course. But, you know, a fast 4 could be quite valuable here, I would think.
So World Championship combination handling it as well. Time looking okay there for them. Just going to get home on the 4 faults, and a good round for the home riders with Patricio Pascal, former winner here in Monterrey with Babel. Just gets somewhat deep into the bottom of that triple bar. Leaves him on the 4 at 74.48 for Patricio. And best of scores in the clubhouse at the moment. Just on that 1 first. Fabian Sajan now of Argentina. Temple for himself and Gerardo Pascal, in fact. 11-year-old for Fabian.
Fabian, another rider who went to the World Championships in the summer, taking place in Denmark, of course, this time around. There, though, he rode the horse Harley VD Bishop. Temple is a little bit of a different proposition here, but certainly one that is absolutely capable of the big tracks. Competed this horse in various different competitions around Mexico so far, primarily up to 4-star, so really now stepping the horse up to 5-star level, but whoops, didn't quite get the approach that he wanted there into the double, so he's going to pick up.
Yeah, I think he might say, I think at this point I will raise my hands. And so, no, I'm not going to take on the rest of it. Deciding to retire there for Fabian and Temple in the early stages. So Patricio Pascal with the best of completed scores so far, and 74.48 as a time with Babel at this point. And in the meantime, handing over to US rider Caitlin Campbell from the west coast of the US these days with the 13-year-old Amir by Dubai, and along the lines of Cardento on the dam side for Caitlin. And Caitlin returning to the top flight. Finished well in Atomi as well, didn't she?
Yes, she did indeed. She had quite a few good results recently. But yes, at Atomi, she just had a number of good performances actually, but it's an interesting draw in the competition actually this, because of course we've just had Fabian Sajan. This is the horse that Fabian took to the Tokyo Olympic Games. This is Emir, so experienced horse that Fabian has taken to that you know, the absolute pinnacle of the sport, and now Emir is a ride for Caitlin Campbell, giving her benefit of the horse's experience. She did really well at Angelstone at our leg, Nick close to Toronto as well, in fact, with a really good double clear in the 5-star 2-phase there. Horse has also done Nations Cup competitions with Fabian Sajan as well. Also in the past been competed by Alberto Michan.
Still going nicely at the moment. May just have to think about time, we'll see. Going to gauge a little later, just going to come up to the 60 mark at the moment as they come to the bare skinny. Into this triple combination. So time allowed of 77. It's going to get a little squeaky for that. They've been good, but they've been just a little steady in there. Coming home with the fences all up, but 80.56 means they're going to be on to 4 time for that combination for Caitlin Campbell and Amir. So a good run, but finishes on the 4, and actually will put it behind Patricio Pascal, assuming we get clears in there as well. So it is a completion in terms of jumping the fences, but just a little steady on time.
Yeah, and you know, it's a relatively large arena this, so they can't really waste too much time around the turns. There are a few places that really encourage the horses to gallop and just kind of it really extend the frame, and that's what something that the course designers done very cleverly, that you know, especially looking at from the wall to the water to the plank, you've really got to be very careful of that and be extremely adaptable. And so with that in mind, all of those things really do just take that little bit longer as well, so I think we could see the time play quite a factor.
Andres Azcárraga now, and Contendros 2 for the next of the Mexican riders, with the 15-year-old ride for this younger rider who's already started to feature in the big classes as well. It's following the family tradition owned by Jaime, of course, and the family. 15-year-old by Contendro.
Yes, a little bit of an older horse, so we've got quite a mix of ages in the field, but this pair have gone well already this week as well. We've got quite a few competitors who are on our list who've already had the good results this week. certainly seems to be an arena that suits this pair, but this is a combination who competed at a number of high-profile competitions, like the Nations Cup final in Barcelona.
Well, he's hesitant there, but
no, there's a splash as
there's
well.
definitely a splash. It was like a fountain coming over that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was no doubt there, but just on the 4, made it across the plank from that point of view. Just gets stuck. Needs to get a bit of drive there as he does to get over the vertical. This is going to be a fraction tight here. Oof! Popped it up in the cup and left it.
Lucky, very lucky with that.
Quite so there, just steadying up for the final fence. Is going to be on a score of at least 12. It's going to be time to add there as well. 12:79.22, take them to a score of 15 for Andreas Ezcárraga, and we will then go on to our next. So Andreas Ezcárraga finishing on 15. So those completed, 2 of them on the 4, Patricio Pascal and Babel. He had the 1 fence down. Caitlin Campbell had the time at 80.56 or time faults to finish on the 4 as it stands at the moment. Erin Davis Heineken now, and her experienced Grand Prix winner Leonie, the 13-year-old German-bred horse for the rider from Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, a bit of a repeat of what they competed in last year. They competed in the 5-star Grand Prix here at this same leg last year, also in San Miguel as well, so pretty experienced, as you say, in the 5-star Grand Prix. They were 6th in a 3-star Grand Prix at Traverse City as well in the summer. That was a very good result for them, and they're generally clear about a third of the time. They're about 30-35% in terms of a clear round rate. But Erin, with a couple of good rides here, you can see she's on the Roadrunners team as well, and Leonie very much one of her top rides, but NKH Cento Blue is another one that she has that's going well as well. Perhaps that might be one that she could be riding on the team competition tomorrow.
Drops in the water as well.
Causing problems.
Ooh, and just gets a little bit tight there, but gets over. Again, it's the whole point of the balancing that whole line up together of getting a move on down to the water, and of course they've very quickly got to come into that set of planks. So just got to find the balance. On the 8 at the moment for Erin, Leonie. Pair that haven't done a lot of the big classes in the early part of this year, now really coming back into these. And so on the 8 so far should be okay for time, actually. Just going to be a little bit closer, but should be enough. 76.06 on the 8 there for Erin Davis Heineken and Leonie. And so goes into the 3rd best score so far for Erin. And we've got 1 on 8, 1 on 9, 2 on 4 at this stage of proceedings. And we look across to see Simon Nisri in the arena with Ferrari VDL. Next to come up for Mexico, and alongside me is a man who's won the Grand Prix here before now, which is Enrique Gonzalez of Mexico, of course, as well. Enrique, Ferrari VDL for the Newgate Stables, 12-year-old Bicardento. Let's go round with Simon a little bit first, then we'll talk some of how they've played it so far from this point of view. Simon's been very good at producing. There's a lot of horses that have come through him to go to the top level.
That's right. Hello to everybody. And yes, Simon has been a producer of young horses through his career. He's a very talented rider, and he takes care of every single detail. He's known for that, and unfortunately he rode there the line, and the horse had A and B of the combination, so not a good start for him.
Tough start for a few. We'll come back to that in a few moments' time. Talk to me about this line. The wall's dropping there. It's all strung together to be as tough as it is, this line.
Yes, I think the whole course is all connected.
Yeah.
And there are so many options through the course. Depending in each horse, you have a lot of options of adding a stride or leaving a stride out, almost in every line.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a very technical course. Obviously, it's a 5-star Grand Prix besides that, but it has a lot of option, a lot of technicalities where the riding and the rider has to make decisions very quickly.
Well, they're going to be a little bit over the time as well, but it's going to be a score of 24 plus the time there. 80.9 takes them to 28 for Simon Isri and Ferrari VDL. You can see there coming out of the double just one of the early rails that they had, and then standing off the wall. The wall always looks a little bit dramatic when it comes down.
Yes, and surprisingly, the wall has come down a lot.
Yeah.
The first horses that jumped it, they all had it down. So it's surprisingly the wall has come down a lot. And if you add that the water is connected to the water jump, which in this ring, many people probably don't judge it like that, but this water jump it's complicated. It's not an easy water to jump.
Well, I'm going to go back to you on that one in just a second. It is on to Jacob Pope now and Incento SA, their first season doing these big 5-star shows, and handled it so well so far. 9-year-old by Cardento for Jacob, who won a Grand Prix in Traverse City back a few weeks ago into September. He's been a wonderful rider coming through equitation, through the Hunters, and now back into the jumping as well to go so well. Lovely rider to watch from that point of view.
Yes, I honestly don't know him very well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him. I've been during the last months in Europe, and I haven't been. I would not be able to say, but this is going to be a big test.
Yeah.
I think he's green in this level.
Yes.
And I think this is going to be a very good test for him and his horse.
Yeah, Incento SA moving up into these classes. 9-year-olds for Ash Atkinson, the owner, and from Jacob, who's training fantastically with the Ivan Rakowski team as well, has just gone rocketing up very swiftly, handled these big shows so far. But as you say, this is a big test for them, and it's a really interesting horse the way this one goes as well. Can occasionally drop down the gears, and they've just got such a jump, as you can see there.
Yes. So far the horse seems to be very careful, very scopy. Now he got a little bit deep to the triple bar, but he handled it very well. His riding is, like you said, very, very nice, very equitation ride. The horse seems to be really nice, really careful, really scopy, and so far he's doing a great job. That line after the water, between the 6 or the 5 strides to the plank, it all depends on how you jump the water and how scopy is your horse in the stride. But I think to do those 5, it caught him in the next fence, in the blue rails, flat rails with the Liverpool underneath, are not easy to jump.
Again on the 8 at the moment to this triple combination, so I think it's the first 5-star this pair have been into together. Coming in on 12, but overall not going to be too dissatisfied for this. It's going to be inside the time at 75.95. 12 there for Jacob Pope and Incento SA. For a first real spin, that was not bad.
Absolutely. I think it was a very decent round. I'm absolutely sure that this horse came out of that round with more experience, and he will do better next time. He learned. I think it was a round where the horse and rider learned a lot.
Well, Carl Cook and Kalinka van Zandvoort, a very experienced combination now, because they've already got one 5-star win behind them so far this season with the Hampton Classic. They then finished second in the Grand Prix in Atomi a few weeks ago. Good, confident pair coming in here. The right age, 12-year-old, Belgian bred horse by Thunder van der Zuidhoven, and Carl should be coming in on good confidence too.
I agree. After his big win in the Hamptons, they've been very, very consistent. Carl is an experienced rider. The mare is super careful. I think it's very flexible in the stride. It's a good class for him.
You said there's all sorts of options. So triple bar down to that double, has that down. What were the options there to play with?
I think he did the option. He took the option of doing one extra stride after the triple bar, which I think was a good option for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, the mare jumped a little bit big on A and had the front rail of the oxer, but I think he used the option of an extra stride, which I think was good for him.
Down to the plank. Interesting, the plank hasn't been down much, but as we said, it's all connected. And we saw with Jacob's round, jump the plank well, but then it catches up with you at the next fence.
Yes, Jacob took the option of doing 5 to the plank, but then the horse was a little bit open after the plank, and then he got the front rail of the following oxer. Carl is jumping, I think, a very nice round. The mare is jumping amazing. Unfortunately, that combination was a little bit tight for him.
Coming home on the 4. It's going to be the third of the 4s if he gets home. Yes, he does. 4 in 76.56. So on the 4 faults there for Carl Cook and Kalinka van Zulfleet. So we've got 3 on 4 faults at the moment. No clears at this stage, which is why it's saying jump off up there at this point, because if we didn't get any clears, then we'd go on to 4s, but we've got a long way to go yet. Enrique, just sum up Carl's round for me.
I think Carl did a very nice round. If you see even regarding the time allowed, he was very fast. The only faster was Patricio, which has a super fast horse. And I think Carl's round was very, very good round. I think the option he took to the combination was the right one, doing an extra stride. But anyway, the mare jumped so big in A that was a little bit tight for B. For the Mexican crowd, unfortunately, Patricio's round was the same, was a very good round, but I think he turned a little bit fast to the triple bar and didn't give the time enough to approach the triple bar in a better spot, and unfortunately he had the triple bar down. But I think the course is riding difficult. It's all connected.
Yeah.
And I think the more experienced riders are going to use the options that the course has itself to bring a clear round.
Well, let's see, because here we've got a man who could well use those options well, is Darragh Kenny and Great Tequila J. They've been a Grand Prix winning combination in the likes of Florida before now. He's been up there in the world's top 10. He's won major Grand Prix all around the world, including on Global Tour. He won 5-star classes this season in Saint-Tropez and in Rome as well. All the credentials here. And again, let's just see, but look nice and balanced down that line.
Yeah, it looked really nice. He went for the adding in the first line, and unfortunately he had the front rail of the second oxer, which is normally not a rail that you would see in this combination.
Big jump at the water, and again gets the balance back. It's tight. What is it down there? It's you're coming down there on 5 strides from the water to the planks. From that point of view, it sits on 25 meters. If we're measuring that for those course designing fans out there.
Yeah, I think the horses that like Darragh's horse that jumped the water easily without having to go too much, he opted for the 6 strides after the water, which was nice. Now he had unfortunately the next oxer in the 4 stride line down. But yeah, for the horses and riders that have control, I think it's a better option not to override the water and then do the 6 strides to the plank, because that gives you a little bit more control for what's coming.
Yeah.
Not for the plank, but what's coming after the plank. It's the problem. No?
Yeah. So leaving them on a score of 12 there at 75 at 78-12 for Darragh Kenny and Great Tequila J. Another 5-star rider who's had 5-star wins from the likes of Wellington through to winning the American Gold Cup. Richie Maloney of Ireland with the 10-year-old Cocoa Beach by Casal. Out of Miss Marple, so if we see if he solves this little riddle here this afternoon. Richie joining onto the second part of the tour for Major League, coming into that transfer window for the teams, for the Eye Candy squad, and for him now maybe a chance to see how this pairing will fare here. Again, a horse a little less experienced in these 5-star Grand Prix has now started coming up into them this season. And he won in Lexington several times this year, coming in well, and of course a Nations Cup rider before now too for Ireland. But a good rider to watch and see if we can still get that first clear. 3 of them on the 4 faults at the moment.
Yes, now Richie is a very experienced rider. I honestly don't know this horse. I just saw it last week in San Miguel. It seems a very scopy, straightforward horse. He opted for, already starting the course, he opted for 1 extra stride from 1 to 2 and 1 extra stride to the combination. So I think what Richie is doing is giving support to the horse that is greener, and he wants to keep it between his leg and hand to be in control of the horse for the rest of the course, and I think he's doing a great job now.
Little look at the water there. Looks as though they landed, yes they did, on the other side without any trouble. So still on dry land. as you say, this is where it then becomes a little bit complicated. It can just take you into an inside line there, can't it?
Yes, there's again another option of doing 9 outside or 8 inside. I think she handled it very well after adding a stride to the plank, and it's looking really good for the first career round.
Triple combination written well so far, but he was just having to make a little adjustment coming in there.
I think we jinxed him.
Yeah. Just finishing on the 4. He's going to be just over the time as well, 77.23, as you say, a few ads early on. But again, you know, with this horse coming into these big 5 stars, more tough track there, you wouldn't be too disappointed with that round.
No, absolutely not. Especially with a horse that is green doing the 5 stars. I think that's why he decided to add a little bit in some lines. But I think it worked. And again, this horse will go home with a very good experience, and he will learn.
Yeah, and one that's got good experience behind them already is Gakia and Erin Ballard. Gakia for the Esperanza Imports and Alain Ferder for this horse that she's done so well, and including going through to the World Championships this year. Finished 3rd in the Grand Prix at Angelstone up in Canada, wins in Florida in the early part of the season, and another top-class classic rider to watch.
Yes, I think Erin is a fantastic rider. She came 20 years ago to ride here for the first time in this venue.
Oh, okay.
So she knows the venue. She's been here. She's super experienced. She has a wonderful year. She had a great world championship. This horse has been growing and learning, and looks a solid horse now. So I think we have a good chance of having our first clear.
Back to this wall, which has been riding a little better with the later combinations. Just having a little look at that water down there, big jump over it, and again just got to balance up the pace, and she hurdles that well.
Yes, she took the option of the 5 strides because she had to ride a little bit the water, and then now she takes another option that we haven't seen, 4 strides in that line. But it's working out for her. The horse has a huge stride. He's being a little bit shy to the jump, so she's riding him forward. But it's working really, really nice. The horse is jumping really good, really.
Oh, steady, yeah. Just coming home on the 4 faults, then time will be good. Finishing on the 4, 74.95. If it's a quick one, not quite as quick as Patrizio, but again, if we get in the situation, we get it clear, she should get a good place in the Grand Prix overall. The triple combination here, Enrique, just at the last there, just starts to take you forward.
Yes, I think the Anthony played very well his cards, and he makes you, if you take the options that Erin took, and took 1 stride less after the water, 1 stride less from 9 to 10, then at the end she paid it off with a vertical combination at the end. The horse was already a little bit open, and it was a little bit short. So everything you do in this course is so connected that it's going to bring you different consequences in the next line.
What you do, exactly, and that's really interesting. What she's done early on, as you say, then just stays with the horse a little bit, few more fences, and that's not quite what you want. But
exactly.
Bliss Here's now, Antidote de Mars, winner of that Grand Prix in Atomi a week or so ago, so should come in here on hot form as well. This is a fabulous combination for the Bridgeside Farms of Las Vegas, Nevada. The 12-year-old now by De Montesemi. A class horse to watch, and a really class round to win the Grand Prix a few weeks ago.
Yes, fantastic. Bliss has been having a very, very good year, and now lately her win last week or in Otomi was fantastic. I think the course again for this, the stride of this horse is perfect, because you don't have to go for the option of doing less strides. The options of adding are perfect for him, and I think she will have the full control of the horse coming to the end and in the last line.
Again, she got straight to that oxer, got the 5 in there, and kept it a very sort of, if you like, conventional line.
Yes. That was very unfortunate. She was a little bit deep maybe to that skinny.
Coming through on the 4 again. We're getting a group of those sitting on the 4. As to say, they'll be separated by their times should we get a clear. But on the 4 there, 75.6. And so those times become important, because Bliss Here's is what, about the third fastest of the fours. So even if you just had one clear, that would put you in fourth place on a $405,000 Grand Prix. That's a lot of money.
After watching some these rounds, I would put money that these four faulters are going to get a good check.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be so many clears, and having a fast four fault, I think it's going to pay a good check today. Ignacio now is it's a very, very nice and talented rider, not maybe with all the experience in the 5 stars level. Also, his horse is doing his first 5 stars, I think.
Yeah, he's a 9-year-old.
Actually, for the first time in Otomi.
Yeah.
So I hope he has a good experience, and hopefully he has a good round.
Very well bred horse, German horse by Firth of Lawn, which is a little bit less known, but for those that watched out, that was a horse that won the Hamburg Grand Prix, rode well with Marcus Enning in his later years as well, rode round Aachen and all of those. So has got plenty of ability here from that point of view. Katrin Eckermann, of course, that rode too.
Yeah, actually the horse looks a lot to the father, and that horse had a fantastic go with Katharina Eckermann.
Yeah.
It was a superstar in that time, and then Marcus rode him again. Nacho is riding a super round, and I jinxed him again.
Well, I think he did it himself there. But as you say, you then start to get over the water, and then you've just got to have the perfect control to the planks.
Yes, I think he did the good ride to do the 6, but it was a little bit late. But for this green of a horse, and I think he has a super round.
And just clipping away that last fence is one. What are we looking at? Last fence is 180 in spread, so there's a lot to get across at the final fence.
Yes, unfortunately he came back a little bit too much, and then it got long. And unfortunately, it's a very expensive rail.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a big difference from 4 faults to 8 faults.
Yeah, and adds a couple for time as well. So 78.96. But as you say, in their first spin around in a major class, that's not bad going either. Let's go. I think we're going to Jordan Coyle now, in fact, and Costa Diam, the 10-year-old French-bred horse for Jordan that we've already seen win 5-star Grand Prix, including in Canada, and actually he's been pretty multidisciplines in terms of being able different classes. He was joint winner of the Puissance last week in Washington as well, not on this horse, but won a class in Tomi 2 and was second in a good class there as well. But say Grand Prix wins behind him before now in the Desert Horse Park and in Vancouver last season in Upperville too. Will be interested to see how this pair tackle this one. Costa Diam, 10-year-old now for Ireland's Jordan Coyle.
Yeah, Jordan is a fantastic rider. He's a winner. Every time he goes in the ring, he wants to win. He's very competitive. I believe, I don't know yourself. The horse, but yeah, a little bit like that. But this horse, I probably is a little bit green for this level. But they're probably that was a fault where it was just a lack of experience. But he can handle that. He's strong. That he can give a really secure to any horse that he rides.
Still just sitting on the floor, and again he's going to have in his mind of that's in the placing so far, but again you can't get too excited about that one, and again that one comes down. Again, wanted to come round that corner again. As a rider, you probably don't see that till the last moment, do you?
Yes, and that rail is a skinny jump, black rails. The horses don't see it. It has a little gate underneath, so it's a hard jump to jump, especially on a turn like that. No, after doing all the line from the water, where the horses are coming excited.
But again, it's that back leg, as we can see just coming there. As you say, there's not a lot in terms of bold colour for a horse to see there, and that's where the course design is using that extra level of colours and shades, not just a big fence.
Exactly. I think the course designer was playing a lot with with the jumps today. The jumps here are a little bit similar to Calgary, for example, where you have solid material and that helps to back up the horses. So when you put a fence like that so light, it makes a big change for the horses.
And so for Natalie D now and Akota M, the 9-year-old for the Californian rider. This one horse by Toulon. Again, a horse a little bit less experienced. Natalie's got very used to jumping these big 5 stars now, having gone up as a part of the team to Spruce Meadows before. Now she's competed there a lot, which, as you say, can also translate into a little bit of a help in competing here as well. This early line has caused quite a few issues in the sense of how are you feeling that rides now? Again, I guess it's going to be depending on what you're sitting on, but how do you feel it rides?
Yes, absolutely. Just the idea that the first to the second fence are a little bit quiet strides, quiet 8, and then you have a rollback to a big triple bar. So that's I think that's what's making that line very difficult, because you come from no pace to have to really ride a triple bar to a combination. The horses get a little bit surprised. The combination is set now in the shadow, very close to the VIP tent. So that all makes that complicated. But Natalie's riding a fantastic round.
I was going to say, let's get back to Natalie's tackling this, because she's tackling it very well. Now this triple here has caught a couple. Oh, and it was a late faller there. But it was just a little tap in to take them onto the 4 faults. That's a shame. Finishing on the 4, 75.91. And again, for a 9-year-old here, you would definitely take that one home.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's one of the best rounds we've seen today. I saw this horse with Natalie in Florida beginning of the year when she just got this horse, and it's a very small horse with a lot of blood, big stride. I think she's progressed. Her team, Ilan, they have done a great job with this horse, because it went from beginning of the year now as a 9-year-old jumping a class like this in a very nice way. They've done a great job, and I think they must be very happy with the round.
Talking of blood up and excitement, Ashley Bond and Donatello. Fabulous combination to watch. They finished 11th individually at the Olympic Games last year as well. This 11-year-old from the Little Valley Farms as well by Diorado. Always going somewhere, but it'll be interesting to see how they play this one, because again, she has to adjust to what she's got, doesn't she?
Yes, I think now in the first line she opted for the extra stride to the combination, which was right for Donnie. But Ashley is a fantastic rider, and I think it's a good. Again, all the smaller horses, I've said, I think this course plays good for them, because all the options, they are a little bit easier for them. And unfortunately that has not been proven, but I think Ashley it's till now doing exactly the ride that we are expecting, and just has to bring it home.
We've had a few cleanly up to this point. Gets moving down to this Benorte Oxa. I think we'll hold our breath through the triple combination, because we saw both Erin and Natalie. Oh, exhale again. Just going to be on the 4, and it's 73.63, fastest of the 4s. So again, for her, plays to an advantage and tended to be pretty quick. So at the moment, if we had a clear, she would still be in second for this Grand Prix. So that would be a lot of dollars going home.
Absolutely. And another option, if we don't have any clears, we will have a very, very good jump.
Yes, I should probably refer to that, because if we don't have any clears, there's 7 of them that would be jumping off as 4 faulters. I'm still on the clear train.
Yes. I think we're going to have a couple clears, but that's an option. I've seen it.
I've seen it. I've done it. I've commentated on them, and they've been very exciting. It's not to say all it says in the rules is equal. It doesn't say it has to be a clear. It's just equal. That's the point. You've got to break the equal score. Without getting too much into that, Alberto Sanchez Cozar, winner of a good class just last week or so ago in Tomi as well. I start with Katova, and on this 13-year-old by Katoki, and looked really good with their win, say just a few days ago. Should come in here with confidence, and it's an impressive looking horse as well.
Yes, it's a really nice horse. Philip Weispat rode this horse when he was a young horse in Calgary. As an 8-year-old, he was jumping the meter 60 classes. Then the horse was ridden by Mario Oñate, which was the owner, and then Rodrigo Lambre had a very good win in Wellington in a
Yes.
Grand Prix in a 4-star. I mean, the horse has all the experience. I've seen it through 3 or 4 shows with Alberto, and he looks really, really good.
It looks really good. But again, you just start to get the steam up after the water there, and that's where it catches you.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened. And with this horse with a big stride, it gives you less option to add in the strides. You have to take the less strides, and then it makes it a little bit difficult. He's jumping a very nice round.
Chase is home for the 12. It's going to be plus some time there as well. 79.48, 15 in all for Alberto. As you say there, they were just running by that point, and he hadn't got a lot of options to play with when he got to the plank.
Yes, and what we've been talking all through the class, if you see, we have seen from 1 to 2, we have seen 7 or 8 strides.
Yes.
From 3 to 4, we have seen 6 or 7 strides. From the wall to the water, we've seen 7 or 8 strides. From the water to the plank, we've seen 5 or 6.
Yeah.
In the next line, we've seen 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So every single line has an option.
Yeah.
It's a very technical.
Which if you're not used to going through that, I mean, most big Grand Prix, yes, would have a couple of options in, but normally you've got a couple of options, then pretty well set distances. He's really playing with your options here today. But
Yes.
But with a big field like this as well, it lends itself to that, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Connor Swale, world number 5. Hold your breath. 9-year-old Nadal Hero for Connor. This Belgian-bred horse by Cannon has been on a long, very good streak of form, and not only winning classes on Major League, but also won the World Cup qualifier last week in Washington. He went back up there indoors. He went well, of course, in Natomi. Previous to that, winning the World Cup qualifier in Sacramento, and been picking up classes on the way. At world number 5 at the moment, I think. I wouldn't be surprised to see him going back up a little bit in that lineup if he keeps that up. But this here would be a big help if he can tuck this Grand Prix away.
Yes, absolutely. Connor is one of my favorite riders. He's a really talented rider. He rides in a super rhythm all the time. I was talking early this week with him, and he was telling me about this horse. It's a young horse, and this horse has been a little bit forced through the year, having to jump big classes in Calgary, in Dublin, and he had a good rest, and he's coming back now to jump his first big 5-star Grand Prix, but he's doing it really nice.
It's the 5 on the curve. And they've got 4. I think he might have been in the water by the looks of it. I'm seeing bits of plasticine being taken away, unfortunately. So again, we'll see whether we're going to see him back later on the 4, because that number's getting bigger and bigger on the 4 faults. Might just be a touch over the time. Yeah, 77.75. 5 there for Connor Swale and Nadal Hero. And again, Enrique, I know I'm repeating myself, but with a 9-year-old here that's gone round like that, you would not be disappointed. Let's just have a little look at the last fence. Gone well.
Yeah, very nice, very well. It's a very young, talented horse. I think he was going to be very happy. I didn't even saw when he stepped on the water.
No, I didn't quite see it, but I can look out my window under my umbrella in the sunshine here and see the water jump judge. So I did see a soggy bit of plasticine on the move. So there we go. We are on now to Jose Antonio Chedraui and Mighty Mouse.
This is going to be an exciting combination.
Yeah.
These kind of rings. He had a fantastic run through the summer in Calgary. He was second in one of the big Grand Prix. He almost won the Queen's Cup.
Yeah.
He had the Liverpools down on the last line. Then he had a really nice round in the Masters. He won the Grand Prix in Jalapa a couple of weeks ago. They have been on a good roll. The horse is jumping super. Antonio is riding really good. This type of rings suits him and the horse, so hopefully he will give us a first clear.
Oh, it's hanging.
It's hanging. Please, someone go and fix it.
Just go and put it back now. Oh, gets tight. It's okay.
This is exactly the example of a rider combination that make click, and they trust each other 100%. They have been amazing.
No. Some have got this far. Oh,
Oh no.
more have got that far, and it hasn't quite worked. Home on the 4. It's going to be a fast 4 as well. Could put him in some good money as well on the 4 at 76.08 for the Shadrawi and Mighty Mouse. Super horse, super ride there. Again,
Super ride.
triple combination. Fudge. So close.
So close.
But we never know yet, because Nat puts us on 8 of them on 4 faults at the moment, none of them on the zeros at the moment. But it always makes for an exciting finish. I mean, one clear round is the perfect class in Rennie's book. That's what it is. We will see. But Nicolas Pizarro and Pierre Contra may have a say in that yet. We've still got some very good ones coming throughout this. Pierre Contra, the 11-year-old bike contagious for Nick, who's ridden right the way through to Olympic level for Mexico. And includes, of course, he had a win in Otomi just a week or so ago. Finished 4th there in the 5-star, 2nd in a 5-star, 2nd in the Grand Prix in Jalapa a few weeks ago too. So he's been very much, I would say, trending in the right direction. But he's a rider that is world class and has got some really serious horses around him at the moment.
Yes, and he had a fantastic round in the summer in Europe with this horse. I think he jumped 3 Grand Prix in Europe this summer, and he was placed in the top 5 or top 6 in all of them. The mare has been, it's a super careful mare. She has been gaining experience every time, and I don't want to be repetitive, but I think this is the kind of horse, a smaller type of horse, which the options today suit perfect. And the way she's jumping, I think it's a perfect example of our first clear round.
I'm trying to stay a little bit quieter now, because we get them to this point. Triple combination. So got to be so careful through it. He's got 1 to go for home. Time might be all right as well. He might be 1 time. He's 1 time 77.15. But either way, if it just stayed at that, that would be enough.
Yes.
Oh, will it be enough though? We'll see. Crowd loves that one, understandably. Mexico's Nicolas Pizarro and Pierre Contra home on the 1 time faults.
Yes,
either way, he's picking up some good money.
Nicolas has been having a fantastic year. He's now 31st in the rankings in the world. Very well deserved, and that horse jumped an amazing round. Unfortunately, that time fault puts him in jeopardy for the win, but I think he jumped a fantastic round, and let's see. The rest of the crowd.
Yeah. Carlos Sancarrero now, an H5 Turbo Z, the 13-year-old for the H5 Sport horse. Of course, you're sporting the cap of H5, so you're part of that. So this is going to be a little bit of a heart stopper for you to go around. But he's been going so well. I mean, he's come through the young riders. He's a tall guy. I mean, I say young riders, and he walks in there and he's 6'3", something like that.
Yeah, he's very tall, and this horse is a very experienced horse. Carlos has been getting to know him more and more. They have been jumping really nice rounds. Hopefully they can put it together today. I'm really hoping that he has a really good round, because he's been working hard.
Yeah, he was in Oslo a few weeks ago for the World Cup there as well. Former Kevin Jochims, was it, Turbo Z?
Yes, Kevin Jochims rode the horse. Originally Michel Greve rode him on his younger age. Then Kevin Jochims got the ride.
Really nicely through there, and again, for him being a tall guy, getting the balance. I know Eduardo Menezes and you as part of the team are training him, but you know, and Eduardo being a tall man as well, I suppose he can relate a little bit to doing some of the training with that.
Yes, he can give him the perfect example of what he has to do. Unfortunately, I don't know if that skinny came down also.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
I think overall he has jumped a very nice round.
Yeah, it's going to be 8 plus some time there as well. 78.57, I think. Actually, maybe it'd been 3 down there in the end. 78.57, got 14 from the judges there.
I don't know if it was maybe the water, but because
obviously a bit of discussion there. Anyway, that's the score that's coming up. 14.78.57 for Carlos Sancarero and H5 Turbo Z from that point of view. One-on-one time faults. Nick Pizarro rests them on the floor. So I'll tell you how they then place after that, because second at the moment is Ashley Bond, Donatello. Patrizia Pascal is in third. Erin Ballard fourth. Bliss he is fifth. Natalie Dean sixth. Jose Antonio Shadrawi seventh. And Carl Cook eighth. Caitlin Campbell in ninth, because she was on time faults. She's actually alongside Caitlin, alongside Nick Pizarro, the only one to have jumped all the fences. But Caitlin had 4 time faults.
4 time faults.
Yeah.
I am sure that at least the first 3 or 4 will be happy with this result.
Yeah, they're going to take a lot of money home, so if they're not happy...
this is going to be a very interesting round. This is the first Grand Prix, 5-star Grand Prix for this mare.
Okay.
It's been taking all the attention from everybody. It's a super talented horse, super jumper. Antonio is very excited about having this mare. Hopefully he has a very nice round and has a very good debut in his 5-star.
He, like you, is a former winner of the Grand Prix here as well.
Yes.
In the last few years, yeah.
Yes.
Of course, the family very much involved in running a very good venue at Jalapa here in Mexico as well, fantastically. Each Lucky Reto. 10-year-old by Benini, Dutch bred, and backline, very Lucky Reto was the mare.
I think he's taking the mare
little look there
by the hand.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to make the time allowed.
Steadier. Yeah.
But I think he's trying to give the mare a very good experience in her first 5-star Grand Prix. She is jumping amazing. So I don't think he's really going for the time.
Going to struggle for time, as you say. Just makes a little move coming into that triple combination. He's not going to be far off it, but quickly those time faults are going to ease up, and again moves to the right there, just on the 479.56 plus the time faults. So 7 for the combination there. H. Lucky Reto and Jose Antonio Shadrawi. Just in those final few, just started to move to the right.
Yeah, I think she jumped a lot to the right, probably because the combination is set on the side of the ring. She jumped a lot to the right, and that made the oxer a little bit wider for her.
Lily Keenan now, Queensland E World Championship Rider 2 for the US this season on this 13-year-old former ride of Danny Waldman. And it is 30-year-old by Quick Fire de Farin for Lily. Lily, who's ridden through to many big competitions so far, including US Team Rider before now as well.
Yes, Lily is a beautiful rider. Now she has got a lot of experience showing in Europe. She did a lot of shows. She did the World Championships. This horse has, she got this horse just very recent. I think only this year she's been riding the horse, and immediately after getting the horse, she already had some really good results in 5-star shows. So I think now they are a little bit acquainted to each other, and they are doing a very nice job. This horse won with Danny 5-star in Wellington.
Yes. Sets up for the water.
Very nice. She did the work to come to the 6th stride to the plank.
the curve for Lily and Queensland. Still on the clear at the moment, but we know that's still a bit to go from home.
Now she has to be patient and not try to get it home too early.
Woeing as she's going past her. She's okay for time. She's a lot of woe going to the last, and it's going to be
That's
there as
a
the
clear
clear.
round.
74.79. So it is a 0 score there for Lily Keenan and Queensland E. As you say, she'd left herself a bit of space and time to play with in those final lines there.
Yes, she did. She was very good and very smooth in her track in the beginning of the course. She turned tight to the triple bar. She turned tight after the Oxford to the wall. She turned tight to the skinny, and she gave herself a little bit time to be patient in the last line. Very nice round.
Well, there we go. Lily Keenan gives us the first clear. Nicholas Pizarro then in second on 77.15. 0.15 over the time allowed. Suddenly becomes expensive, or whichever way you want to look at it. But clear there for Lily, puts him into second. Ashley Bond into third now. Rupert Winkelmann of Germany and a 9-year-old at Duvalry, the French bred horse by Demond Semi. Again, this is going to be probably the biggest track that this pair have jumped together.
I honestly don't know him.
Yeah.
This is I saw him last week in Otomi, but yeah, definitely it's going to be his first experience in a class like this. We wish luck and.
Go first, and we'll look to things up from there. Not sure this is going to quite happen today, so takes a pull there, come back, see whether they're going to go down that line or what Rupert's plan will be.
I think he's going to try to do the line.
Rolling at the moment. And again, the point is here to try and get, okay, they've had a sticky start, but actually get a good experience behind the horse and finish well into this. We'll see where it goes the full course, but get some good fences behind.
Absolutely. I think he's trying to accomplish his round, which is going now very smooth. I think the horse seems to be really an honest horse. Yeah. And for him, the experience of finishing the class is obviously really good.
Obviously going to pick up time, but actually, okay, we have the final fence, but the majority of that latter part of the course was a back into the build of confidence for jumping that level.
Yes, absolutely. I think it was worth to do the round for him and for the horse. It was not a bad round.
And so still leaves us with the one clear with Lily Keenan. And now we'll go on to Eduardo de Menezes of Brazil. Big Action, the 10-year-old by Action Breaker. And going back to the line on the mare side of Big Star as well. Hugely accomplished rider from Team Gold at the Pan Am Games. He's competed in the Nations Cup final, 5-star Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez, second in the Stephex Masters in Brussels, in the Grand Prix there a few weeks ago, one in Spruce Meadows in June, business partner with you as well, so you know more than me. But I mean, I always talk about what a class rider is to watch, but I'll let you do the talking on that.
Yeah, he's for me very talented rider. He works really hard. He's had a very good year. This horse, it's a horse we have together and with age 5, and it's stepping up also to do his first 5-star Grand Prix. It's a horse that we produced since he was 5-year-old. He's been a very good horse, a consistent winner, but this is the first time he's stepping up to do a 5-star Grand Prix. He's jumped some meter 55 classes in different shows, but let's see. He's debuting in a Grand Prix, in a 5-star Grand Prix. He's very careful. hopefully he can, after the water, he can stay calm because he has a lot of energy.
Got there. Still good. I notice
Yeah,
I know you're not saying much, but you're sitting well back in your chair at the moment. The difficult bit is, as you say, staying with Lily down there is keeping.
Exactly. Be patient here. Whoa. Whoa.
Oof. Taps it still there. One fence to go. And are we into a jump off?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Eduardo de Menezes and H Big action for the Brazilian. Against Lily Keenan for the jump off. You've got a smile right across your face now. If you're not going to be in there, he can be in there.
Exactly, absolutely, and I'm very happy when you see a horse like this that has been growing and growing, and you see jumping in a class like this in a good form. It's very, very good feeling to have produced a horse like this, and really, really good job from Eduardo.
And a really good job from this man a few weeks ago in Spruce Meadows in the Grand Prix there. 4th place in that. He went superbly last week as well in Atomi riding the winning ride in the team competition. Eugenio Garza of Mexico and Contago, this 11-year-old by Cornetto Mexican bred horse, in fact, and has really looked so superb this year.
Yes, it's a fantastic horse. It's a horse of a lifetime, I think. It's a championship horse, definitely. Eugenio is a fantastic rider. I've had the chance to be together with him in very, very important teams.
Yes.
During the last few years, we went to the Pan American Games together. We won the Nations Cup in Dublin together.
Yeah.
We went to the Olympic Games together. So I've been being a witness of his career, and I unfortunately that was a little bit late coming back to the plank for the plank.
It's going to come home on the 4, and then you're going to start to think about time as well from that point of view. The plank there, he looked as though it just made a bit of a move to the left as well.
Yes, I think it was trying to make room because it was getting out of room for the 6th stride. But anyway, I think it's going to be a very fast round. He went really fast after that. It's going to be probably the fastest of the 4 falters.
Yeah, well, it's a good round in the sense he's going to pick up some good prize money for that one. And, well, there's going to be some very nice prize money to go with that. Goes into 4th place. 3-0-8 for Contago and Eugenio Garza. Another man who's been really knocking on the door with some major results too is Manuel Gonzalez Dufresne, and Hortensia, the 15-year-old, jumped the double clear for the team a few weeks ago at the Nations Cup final when Mexico claimed the Challenge Cup there. He picked up a nice $50,000 bonus. But again, from your point of view, you know, he's going to be on teams. He's come through well this year, and this has been really one of the big consistent combinations.
Yes, absolutely. We in the Mexican team we call the Fish, as we call him.
Yep. Nobody's explained yet why you call him Fish, but
I honestly don't know.
No, I know everybody
knows. I think it comes from his childhood, or
yeah.
But he's the Mexican lucky charm. Since the first time he went to Spruce Meadow, to Wellington to jump there, he was the reserve in the team. That weekend when we arrived in the show, my mare had a little bit of fever and could not jump in the Nations Cup, so he jumped instead of me, and then he was the 4th rider in the team, and he made a beautiful double clear. They won the Nations Cup there. It was amazing, and since then he's been a consistent rider. He went with us to the Olympic Games. Now, as you said, he jumped a beautiful double clear to win the Challenge Cup in Barcelona. He's one of the prime riders for Mexico today. He knows this mare in and out.
Yeah.
He knows where to give room, where to press. Oh,
I was about to say he'd given quite a bit of room coming back to that skinny as well.
Yes, I think he prepared it very well, but
didn't quite happen. Got to be on the 4.
Hopefully he doesn't have a time fault.
Oh, he's going to have one, I think, unfortunately. Yeah, it's going to be 5:77.94, as you say. You don't want one because it makes a massive difference. 77.94 puts him down into 15th place. The 4 falters going all the way down to the money point of 12 at the moment, but unfortunately with the 1 for time he goes.
I think after the 5-stride line, I really don't know what happened, but he went really wide to the skinny, and I think he realized it. He was a little bit wide, and then he tried to ride a little bit forward there, and I think he had the 5 faults in that spot.
Yeah.
All together.
Federico Fernandez coming up now as we're going into the latter stages here. 13-year-old Davidov for Federico, Olympic rider, in fact 3 times Olympic rider, 6 times World Championship. Finished top 5 in the Grand Prix in a big class in San Miguel, 5th in the Grand Prix in Jalapa in October as well. Again, would have been a teammate, I'm sure, of yours on a few occasions too.
He's first of all, he's a very, very close friend of mine, and we've been showing together for many, many years. We've done World Championships, Olympic Games, many, many nations cup around the world. We've shown together many, many times in tours in Europe, and he's a fantastic guy. He's a super team player. He does everything for his team. He's a great human being and a great team member. He's riding today his more experienced horse. I wouldn't say today his horse from the World Championships. He's giving it a little break. I think he's going to show him next week in the 5-star here. So hopefully he has this horse has been jumping really good for him also. He's jumped some big classes. He jumped in Spruce Meadows, and I think for him he has to fight a little bit for the time.
Yes,
I think
I was going to say the same thing.
The time allowed here for him is a little bit tight. He has to risk a little bit, and I think he has to risk a little bit here, and not to do towards the end of the class.
Good so far, but he said just a little bit on the steadier side from that point of view.
I think he's just a little bit slow. Come on. Oh.
You never know. It's going to be close. It's going to be extremely close.
Extremely close. Come on.
No, not enough. 77.69. It's going to be 1 second. So that means it's going to be 1 for time. Mexico's Federico Fernandez and Davidov will go into 4th place so far. So 2 of them on the 1 time for Nicolas Pizarro and Federico Fernandez, but they're separated by their time. Federico just a fraction steadier at 77.69. Nick at 77.15 is in 3rd. Eduardo de Menezes and Lily Keenan as the top 2 at the moment, looking good for the H5 team at this stage. Whatever, you walk away with some big prize money, whatever happens here at the moment. Luis Pedro Biraben, Chaco Bumpy, 12-year-old Oldenburg for the next of our riders representing Argentina on this occasion. Again, ridden at World Championships, Pan Am silver medalist before now, won a Grand Prix in Lexington, Kentucky back in May of this year. And again, a good experienced rider with a good experienced horse. I mean, perfect age now at 12.
Yeah, Luis jumps the whole season in Wellington. This horse is not easy at all. He has been working with her a lot. The horse is hot, is complicated, but Luis has done a very good job with her, and she has some really good results. The horse is fast, the horse is careful, it's just a little bit feisty, and sometimes the faults come from that feisty. So I think in a big ring like this, he has a chance to work that on the mare, so hopefully he has a nice round.
inside line. Good run at this to get the curve here.
He rode that line really, really good. Tamer doesn't seem that he's going fast, but he's really fast. I think for sure he's good with the time. Now good luck here. Whoa.
Yeah, don't be fast through here. Oh, little toe on it. He's good for time. Is it going to be 3?
No way.
No, 75.22, finishing on the 4 there for Luis Pedro Berben and Chaco Bumpy. Oh, heartbreaker at the finish.
Heartbreaker. He did everything good.
Last fence there. Okay, he did everything good. What didn't he do perfectly at the last?
Yeah, I think he landed, and he was thinking, I'm going clear, and he steadied it too much.
Yeah.
He ended up being a little bit far from the Oxer.
Okay, coming into the latter stages now with around 4 or 5 left to go in the first round. Arturo Parada and Bacot, the 11-year-old, self-lancé by Lavillon, as the next to go for Mexico.
Arturo is one of the probably wins more classes in Mexico than anybody else. He's a super competitive, fast rider. I think this horse is a new ride for him, not so long ago. It seems to be a very, very scopy horse. I really don't know the horse that well, but Arturo can jump almost with any horse.
Yeah.
That horse came back after the water really, really nice.
Gets out. And he got out there in a very deliberate move back.
Yes, I think the horse has a huge stride, and he rode it perfectly to give room to that vertical. He squared the combination really good.
Getting vocal down that line, and he's going to get very vocal if he gets across here. Yes, he gets across the last at 75.03, and so gives us the third of the clears now, with Arturo Parada in there with Bacot alongside, of course, Lily Keenan and Eduardo de Menezes. So make it the top 3. Suddenly the 4 falters are dropping a little bit with the money at this point.
There's already, I believe, some 4 faults without getting a prize, no?
Yeah, unfortunately, just starting to drop off there. Carl Cook, Caitlin Campbell, Jose Antero Shadrawi, 12th place there with Natalie Dean.
If I'm not mistaken, this is probably one of the or the best result in Arturo's career, jumping a 5-star clear. So for him and his team, it's very important and very nice. Congratulations to them.
Alberto Michan now, and hugely experienced rider, 3 times at Olympic Games, 1 in Atomi just a week or so ago, 2nd in Traverse City back in September, 1 in August there in Traverse City as well. He's been, when I say Olympic Games, top 5 at Olympic Games as well. He's a really good rider, of course. Rode for Mexico originally, now riding for
he
Israel.
used to be my teammate.
Yes.
And I call him the traitor.
Just because he's against you now, that's it.
No, but we've been very good friends and
friendly competitiveness.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic rider. He's a really, really talented rider, and I saw this horse beginning of the year. He showed me the horse in Wellington, and it's quite difficult. Has a little bit of difficult mouth, but he's done a great job. Now he has control on the horse. He's got some really good results during the summer in the East Coast. And it's looking really good. I think the crowd and everything made the riders fight for the clear round, and we are seeing a very good rounds at the end.
It wasn't much of a touch.
Oh, that came down when he was jumping C.
Yeah. Finishing on the 4, a little bit of backspin on there. Unfortunately, he's going to have 1 for time as well. 77.76 there for Alberto Michan, and Nadal de Trevera, from his point of view, said just a little bit stick. As you can see, I mean, the pole's just spinning, and then it goes whoop. Oh dear, if only I could do that with a golf ball. In which case, a big golfer as well. But unfortunately, it is not going to be. So let's head to Amanda Derbyshire and Cornwall BH for the Gotchman Sport Horse team. 14-year-old back the lines of Cambridge Tizzy for this very good horse with a very good rider. Based in the US, rides for Great Britain. European team bronze back in 2019. Was second in the Grand Prix in Saugerties in New York this year. Top 5 in the Grand Prix at Greenwich. 1 in Upperville this season too. All the capability here. Right age in terms of horse too.
Yes, Amanda is a fantastic rider. I really, really like her. She rides really good. She's a fighter. She wants to win every class. She's really what we call a horseman or a horsewoman.
And spend a bit of her time in her career training with Nick Skelton and people like that. So she's got a good background to her.
She has a really good background. She's a very talented rider, and this horse she knows in and out, and they've won so many classes. If she can have a good round and be in jump of his, she's dangerous.
Yeah. Grand Prix of Travis said go at the water. Now, whoa, there.
I think that he looked at the water and jumped left, but that helped her do the 6 strides to the plank. That worked out really good.
But again, that's where you've got to have a horse brain, haven't you? It's like, okay, this is the situation I'm in. Change it now.
Exactly. I don't know if she's a little bit behind the time.
It's going to be a little bit edgy. 77 time allowed. Could be there.
Yes.
Might not.
Come on.
Hold your breath. No, they're not going to.
No.
78.3, so 2 for time for Amanda Derbyshire and Cornwall BH. A very good round from them, but puts them on 2 times, so puts them into 6th place as it stands for the British rider. 3 of them on the clear: Lily Keenan, Eduardo de Menezes and Arturo Parada, so USA, Brazil and Mexico. Plenty of flavour in there for the rest. As we go on to last year's winner here, Paul O'Shea and the Trelawney Farms Chance the Rest, 13-year-old Hanoverian by Chaco Blue out of Ballerina.
I think another of the great horsemen or riders we have. He's really a horseman. He knows his horses in and out. He takes the time. He produces horses, and also a fantastic guy. He's
absolutely
top guy.
One Grand Prix.
Like they say over there, a top mate.
Top mate, exactly. Top guy, either, let's see whether he's top gun here and joins R3 Clears. He was top man here last year with the Grand Prix win. Won a Grand Prix in Spruce Meadows back in September, not the major one, the one the week before, but it was still a big 5-star Grand Prix nonetheless. Second at Greenwich in the Grand Prix there as well. Individual winner of the series last season too for Major League on his first season, as well as being on the winning team.
If I'm not mistaken, he won the Grand Prix with this same mare last year, and was the first Grand Prix win for this horse last year. So the horse has experience. She did a lot this year in different venues, so we can expect to be on the top of its form today.
Exactly, another 12 months of experience behind the pair of them. They went so well in Wellington, Florida this year as well. Championship rider for Ireland.
Again, he did that wide line, really well ridden.
Shapes it out. Cuts dropped short on that. Not many have had that fence, to be fair.
No, I think probably it's the second horse that has that fence down.
Going to finish on the 4 faults. He's going to be inside the time at 76.14, but Paul O'Shea and
out of the price.
Yes, 15th place. Yeah, so out of the money, I'm afraid. Out of a chance, but another chance next week, of course, because we are staying here in Monterrey.
Fortunately, I think for us, and all the Mexican riders and the Mexican crowd, I think the only thing that this kind of show brings is more spirit in the shows. We are learning a lot. The younger riders in Mexico are having the chance to see the top international riders in their shows, I think it's fantastic that this major league is happening in America, and to be able to have more and more shows of this in Mexico, I think it's amazing. It's very important.
Good. Vanessa Mannix has certainly benefited from that, because Kingston was a horse that she rode to third in the Grand Prix in Otomi, and so on a 9-year-old British bred horse, in fact, on the Anglo-European stud, but by Houston. Just she's not in the ring yet, just awaiting Vanessa as the last to go here. So reminder of the clears at the moment: Lily Keenan, Queensland E, Eduardo de Menezes and H Big Action, and Toro Parada and Bacot. And as you say, for the home crowd, having a Mexican in the jump off is going to make this big, and he could be last to go. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's say we have a Mexican and a half.
Yes.
Because Eduardo has been living so many years in Mexico, and we've been partners for almost 20 years next year, and so he's half Mexican.
He's half. Oh, you're giving him an honorary title now. Excellent.
Exactly. We're giving him the keys of Monterrey if he wins the Grand Prix today.
Okay. Vanessa Mannix, Kingston, to follow on that very good result just over 7 days ago.
Yeah, I saw the Grand Prix in Otomi on the TV, and when I saw Vanessa, I asked her about this horse, because I didn't know the horse. It's only 9-year-old, but he jumped seriously in Otomi. He jumped really nice. And I was very surprised. I'm very happy for her to have a horse like this in her string.
But then I suppose you've got that difficult balance now. You come into the following week, you've got the confidence coming off, a big result there, but then maybe a little bit of pressure as well, having had a big result there.
Yes, and you never know with the horses. When you have a green horse, it can be overwhelming to do 2 5-stars in a row.
Yeah.
So that's also a chance, no? But I think she's experienced enough, and she has developed horses enough that he can hold the horse's hand and take him through the class. It's no problem. She already had that combination down, unfortunately.
So definitely at the 3 to jump off for the GNP Seguros Grand Prix. Still going to come home with a very nice round. Yes. All goes well at last here. Yes, it does. There we go.
The horse jumps so easy. It's like he's jumping a meter 30 class.
Yeah. This was the only one where they just unfortunately had a fence down. But again, following on from that good result in Otomi, you would probably be happy enough with that.
Oh, I would be really happy to have a 9-year-old jumping a 5-star like this. He jumps so easy, so scopy. Maybe there he needs a little bit more of experience to back off from the fence, but was really good.
So those are the 3 clears going on to the jump off of this GNP Seguros 5-star Grand Prix here in Monterrey. Lily Keenan for the USA, Queensland E, Eduardo de Menezes and H Big Action for Brazil, and Mexico's Toro Parada and Bacot. We've got something for most of you watching here this afternoon, early evening, so take a breath. We'll be back in a few minutes' time to bring you the final stages of this 400,000 plus Grand Prix.
Y como número 3 de México,
Equestrian, the #1 choice for footing products. Premier Equestrian, footing products that improve performance. Premier Equestrian, footing products for cushion and stability. Call 800-611-6109 or visit premierequestrian.com.
Well, welcome back, and just moments away from the jump-off of the Grand Prix here in La Silla for the GNP Seguros Grand Prix. It is 5 stars, $400 and plus $1,000 in the prize fund. One of 2 weeks here, and it's going to be an exciting finish with 3, as we know, going against the clock with Lily Keenan, with Eduardo de Menezes and Arturo Parrada for Mexico, all in there. A little replay of those that we've seen from the first round. It was not easy going. Superbly put together course by Anthony D'Ambrosio, our course designer here this week from the USA, and it certainly tested them out. But he brought the cream to the top. A lot of 4 faults in there as well, which again, good sign of a good track there as well. Just a lot of fences here and there, and not necessarily consistent ones, although the skinny there catching quite a few. The Bears just having their say, unfortunately. And down to the water, a few caught out by the splash. But again, it was just how all that line was linked up together that would make it such a tough run for the riders here. But 3 have risen to the final battle. 4th and 5th, we saw 1 time faulters with Nicholas Pizarro and Federico Fernandez on the 1 time fault. 2 time faults from Amanda Derbyshire and Cornwall BH to finish in 6th. 7th, Johanny Ogaza, Ashley Bond completing the top 8 on the 4 faults as well. So a couple of those for Team Helios are in the game too. But a big day of sport, and that last fence as well could catch a few as well. We unfortunately saw a fall with Shakendra and Miguel Angel Torres a little bit earlier on. Just to update you on that, horse is absolutely fine, being looked after, should be okay, and is being very much well looked after by the veterinary team here, but all looking good there. So 3 to come back, and just the finishing touches being made to the course here, set by Anthony. And let's give you a little talk around that. New fence 16 over in the centre of the arena is going to be your starting point, just beyond the water. Just see it into view. Fence 8 after that. So they're coming down to what was the planks. They've actually put a pole on top by the looks of it there, just to make things, I won't say too much easier. A roll back to fence 12, the Benorte fence after that. 2 parts the triple combination, a gallop in there. We've taken away the first of the oxes, left with 2 verticals. So again, that makes it a little bit tricky again with a little bit of a road stop there at 13B and C. 17 after that is a new fence on course as well beyond the water. I think that's the one you can see just there with the birdhouses on. And then to 4A and B, which is along the VIP side. And finally, fence 5, which is just on the side view to you at the moment, if you're looking over towards the wall. Fence 5, the GNP Seguros fence at the last. So 16, 8, 12, 13 BC, 17, 4 and 5 are going to be the fences on the course. The 3 riders on the course are going to be Lily Keenan, Eduardo de Menezes and Arturo Porrada as the lineup. So looking forward to this one. Going to be lots of crowd support, I'm sure, for this. One for pick your rider. USA, Brazil and Mexico. Lots of home riders, of course, going to be on Arturo. That was a superb round for them. Lily will start us off with Queensland E, and then, of course, Eduardo de Menezes with to bring the action with H big action. And Arturo, as we heard from Enrique, lovely combination, but jumping one of their biggest results so far with Bacot to give us clear round number 3. Nick Pizarro there, and we see Federico Fernandez just on the one-time fault to complete 4th and 5th for Mexico in the Grand Prix here this afternoon. A little bit further down with Amanda Derbyshire, Eugenio Garza, of course, on the 4 faults, fastest of the 4s there. Ashley Bond finishing into 8th place on the 4 faults too. Patricio Pascal and Babel and Erin Ballard and Gakia on the 4 to complete the top 10. So just moments away from starting. Sun has dropped behind the mountain now, so even shadows, or no shadows, across the arena, if you like, from that point of view. And getting ready for the final showdown here in La Silla. There you see across the beautiful arena, one of a number of stunning arenas here in La Silla. The mountainsides behind creating a wonderful frame for the conclusion of competition here in Monterrey. Of course, not a conclusion for the week because we have the team competition to come tomorrow. We've got winning round, we've got 2-star Grand Prix. We have a very full agenda for you coming up as part of that final day. So let's get you to your Saturday excitement and come up to the final stages of the GNP Seguros Grand Prix. The arena team just raking away the final little moments, scraps of grass off the top. They take all the little loose grass off and it looks so fantastic and sanded in. Hard work, blood, sweat and tears have gone into producing some wonderful ground here in this arena, and what you don't see on your screens is just beyond that to the right is another arena, which is where they used to compete also in major, what would have been the equivalent of 5-star classes now as well, which is absolutely stunning. So not just this arena here that whets the appetite, but is going to be now competition that whets the appetite too, with Lily Keenan and Queensland E with the tough task of going first of the 3 in the jump off, or is it to the advantage? We will see. So new fence 16, 8, 12, 13 BC, 17 along the water there, and then to 4A and B and 5 to finish off to complete. So bell goes, and it is gloves off and running. Eduardo de Menezes of Brazil to go second. Mexico's Arturo Parada to go third. Been really developing well with this former Danny Waldman ride this year. He's back from a summer stint in Europe. So new fence 16. Hummingbirds. Say pole put on top this time. Plank has been dropped down. Roll back here to the Benorte fence. Potentially down into the double there. Moves out of there, lands out of there in 22.5. Birdhouse is on the angle. And La Silla fence, and then finally the sponsors fence to finish off. Good run down to the last, coasts over the line in 42.28, and well, we'll see how it compares. It's a good one. That wasn't Lily Keenan coming to the first, that was a replay from a little earlier. Lily Keenan and Queensland E going with a clear 42.28. So she pulls up and says, okay, right, now the rest of you got to catch it. Eduardo de Menezes, multiple 5-star winner. H big action for the E2 stables, an H5 team, as we heard from business partner Enrique Gonzalez a little bit earlier on. Could be joining Enrique as a winner of the Grand Prix here yet. Of course, Enrique winning with Chacna a couple of years ago. Eduardo, this would be, as he said, there's a little bit of a multi-national part about this because Mexican-owned horse, Brazilian rider on top. Keeping back the momentum on the roll back there. We'll get a time check in just a moment out of this double. Just says whoa as they go and just tucks in there, maybe a fraction quicker. He gets their home down there at 21, landing. Still got to keep coming. Lily's time 42.28. Oh, I was going to say it looked like he's got the time. Unfortunately, he's got a fence on the way. He did have the time, 41.66, just tailing off that La Silla vertical, 41.66, and on the 4, Eduardo de Menezes and H big action. So he goes into second so far. Lily Keenan leads with Queensland E on 42.28. A nation carries on his shoulders with Arturo Parada and Bacot. The grey 11-year-old French-bred horse by Lavillon is the last to go, as we talked about a little bit earlier on. Biggest stage he's been up to so far with this horse. Start. A little bit wider there. Ooh, and unfortunately, it doesn't work out there. Both are up and okay. Horse is okay. He's just being checked over. I think just gave his hand a bump on the way through there. And unfortunately parts company. It does mean that Lily Keenan is going to be the winner with Queensland E. Eduardo de Menezes finishing in second with H Big Action, and it will be third whatever happens for Arturo Porrada there and Bacot. Well, walks away okay. So Arturo Porrada and Bacot will finish in third place. Not quite the end they would have wanted. Eduardo de Menezes will finish in second with H Big Action. And the winning combination, Lily Keenan and Queensland's E going clear there at 42.28 to conclude the Grand Prix here. So it's a US win with Lily Keenan, Eduardo for Brazil/Mexico finishing in second, Arturo Porrada in third for the Mexicans there. Fourth place going to Nick Pizarro and Pia Contra, and fifth place to Federico Fernandez and Davidov. So they are top five. Presentation on its way for the five-star Grand Prix here in Monterrey. Well done to Lily Keenan, and Queensland E will be along for those awards in just a few moments' time, and to catch up with our winning rider too, and take a look at the winning rounds of Lily here in Mexico. So we're going to take a look again at that winning round of Lily Keenan in just a moment as well, and catch up with Lily, who's going to be with our team too to get her excitement. And I think her probably first five-star Grand Prix win behind her, but also Lily with us in just a moment. So we take a look at the winning rounds of Lily Keenan. Very nicely done. Eduardo de Menezes so close, but had the time, but unfortunately a fence down on the way for them. Looking super smooth around the track here. Nice tidy turn back to the Benorte fence. Just being patient enough through this double of verticals. Again, just getting a little move to the right already as they land. Makes up ground across the centre, of course, takes that fence with confidence. Now again, just wants to give enough space to this vertical. Easily done. And for the last, it was the only one to jump the double clear, and that was what was needed. So double clear wins it. Lily Keenan and Queensland E will finish our winner. And we're going to be catching up with Lily in just a few moments' time as our winning rider.
Well, Lily, congratulations. What an amazing performance. And your jump off round was really fast. You must be thrilled with the horse. To not be happier. And you were saying earlier, you know, it was a tough course, but this is the kind of course that you jump in these top level competitions all the way around the world.
Yes, this is a 5-star for a lot of money, and I think we need to keep the standard up, especially in North America. There is such a drive right now to really bring our level up and raise the standard of show jumping. And I've jumped all around the world, and this was as hard as any Grand Prix that I've jumped. And I was on a very talented horse, so it worked out for me today.
And you touched a little bit there on the team that's behind this. It does take a team, doesn't it, to get to this level, but tell us a bit more about that.
Absolutely. I am blessed with an incredible team of people that make this happen, and it's not just one person. And in addition to that, to be jumping this series now in the second half, I'm so grateful to the Trailblazers for including me. It's been a great start these weeks in Mexico, and we're just looking forward to the next 2 weeks.
What's next for you in this horse?
So next week we will jump again here, and then we will head to Thermal to continue in the Major League.
Well, huge congratulations. I know the crowd are really behind you as well. Enjoy your celebrations.
Thank you so much.
Well done to Lily Keenan. Gets her big 5-star win behind her. She's won plenty of classes before now, but a big Grand Prix win here in Monterey, she says. It is a big one. It was a big money class. It was a big challenge there and some super combinations. And in we come, ready for the presentation of this GMP Seguros Grand Prix, and to be joined by our leading lineup, including Eduardo de Menezes and H Big Action. Third having gone to Arturo Parada and Bacot. Fourth place to Nicolas Pizarro and Pia Contra for Mexico. Federico Fernandez making it fifth, and Amanda Derbyshire into sixth place there. Keenan in, rightfully coming in all smiles. Little congratulations from Eduardo. And a little happy tickle for Queensland D. And good to see him with us, Arturo Parada. Joining, he got a little bit of a cheer there. That tricky for the last bit. Looks as though he and horse are okay. Sport of bravery. So coming up in reverse order. For our top six. And sixth there having been Amanda Derbyshire and Cornwall BH. Now our sponsors meeting with number 5 Federico Fernandez and Davidoff. Fourth place there to Nicolas Pizarro and Pia Contra. Fourth place going there to Toro Parada. Second place for Eduardo de Menezes and H Big Action. Very exciting pairing together. And the winning horse and rider combination, Lily Keenan and the Chazanet Farms Queenslandy. I think they have done traditionally here. There we are. The Falcon will bring down the winning rosette. Here we go. About to go. No, not yet. A little tradition here in La Silla. Once famed for its aviaries here. There we go. Flying in with the ribbons. Some are aware of what was coming. I think the Falcon might have got a bit of a long stride. There we are. Handed over and to be presented. Lily Keenan of the USA receiving her winning rosette then. And they'll head to the podium. Sí, not yet.
Vamos a comenzar con la entrega de los trofeos. En tercer lugar para el hijo de México, el trofeo para él.
So top three, Toro Parada, and Bacot. Brazilian Eduardo de Menezes and the H5 teams. H5, big action. And the rider with the biggest action, return of the week, Lily Keenan and Queensland's E to take to the podium for her first major 5-star Grand Prix win, and joins a list of legends who win here in Monterrey. Lovely trophy to take home. And up on the podium for the photos. Once is joined by our event director here and to present. And the national anthem of the winning rider. Congratulations to Lily Keenan, as of course the traditional part of the ceremonies for the USA. So the US flag that will fly at the top of the flagpoles here in Monterrey today. Smiles all around, as you'd expect. Big payday too for the winning combination, but I know it will be delight in sheer winning of this Monterrey Grand Prix. Glasses of champagne down in their direction. A little more sedate than the champagne shower, under pressure to get the bottle open. Still a showdown between Keenan and Eduardo. I think he's run away. He must feel safe enough now. Final slosh in the glass. And there we go, cheers. Salud. Well set for the victory gallop, and of course, as I say, we've got a lot more to come for you. We've got the team competition tomorrow here in Monterrey. We've got the winning round first thing in the morning. We're going to be 8 o'clock with that. Middle of the day with the 2-star Grand Prix. Later into the day with the team competition as well. And we'll be at 3 o'clock with that. Maybe a little bit earlier. Keep an eye on social media for all of that, where that will be. Or head over to the Major League Show Jumping app. That will tell you too. So, set for the lap of honour, and Grand Prix wise we are back with another Grand Prix here from Lucia next Sunday to conclude competition here in Monterrey. But for now, it's a top 5 to head off on a lap of honour. It is many congratulations to a 5-star Grand Prix win for Lily Keenan of the USA and Queensland E, as Queen Lily will head out crowns our top combination here in Mexico.
We have a new